Good morning. Today is Saturday. We are in the Green Mountains again, doing kind of a part two to last week's part one, where we're going into the Middle Bog by Overland, and I'm going to see if we find any signs of life in the kind of like the middle ground of the backyard of the five bogs actually. So we're going to get moving and do that and see where we end up, and hopefully we'll have an adventurous and productive day. Thanks. Okay, so we're making entry again for the amusement of the audience. I already have suffered a mishap of my boot going into the mud halfway to my knee. So dry feet, already a myth. But that's how things go sometimes. Kind of amusing. So this is going to be a short segment, just me going towards the woods and over to the other side. Kind of a little bit of a repeat of last week, but we have a little more of a plan for a river crossing. It's also warmer this week, so I'm a little more open to the potential of having wet feet for part of the day. Mishaps do happen, things don't always go as planned, but we're still going to try to avoid that through some ingenuity. But if not, then we tried, but we'll see how that works. I've tried this before in an actual river crossing, and it sort of worked. This time around, we're not looking at really more than like 3 inches of water and 10 feet, so like maybe 3 steps. I don't foresee it being an issue, but we're gonna keep this short so we can maximize filming and such when we get into the middle portion on the other end of the stream and get into the woods there, because that's the actual area I want to check for signs of activity, since I actually haven't been in there before. And if at all doable, we will make our way to the Middle Bog through there. And I see an interesting indent, but I was here last week, so in truth, it's probably mine. That being said, we're about to make entry in the woods, shoo a fly out of my ear, which was gross, and maybe more information than the audience needed, but again, such as things. And now is a good time. We're starting over because apparently we filled up the SD card. Navigate the woods real quick. So to recap, we've had some technical difficulties. We're on the other side of the back end of the five bogs, hopefully moving overland towards the Middle Bog. I'm not sure how. We're kind of wanting to go in this direction, I believe. The nature of the terrain's proving to be a little hilly, though, so we're going to do that. Also, in crappy news, we have lost the gimbal camera, so I'm hoping on the way back we'll find that and not have to replace him. That was not part of the plan, but we are going to attempt right now to overland. Yeah, I looked down in the pocket and it wasn't there anymore, so that kind of sucks. We will hopefully recoup him. Let me just engage my... I guess I could actually make ground down there if I wasn't sure the direction I'm going back. So, okay, we're not too far back. I guess it's just how far we go to hit the Middle Bog if we go in this general direction. And remember the terrain. That big mound, bald spot. Actually meaning to go kind of between the two, but that's all grabber bushes and this is open. So we're going to do that. Yeah, I am kind of not really thrilled about the gimbal camera, but I'm going to have to conserve this one now to get some footage. I had to format it, so hopefully it'll hold up now. Now that I recall, I did have some existing footage on it. So that and my original segment are now gone, so we'll have to recreate some of this. Oh well. I'm going to follow the balder terrain just to cover ground better. The middle bog basically is a long, wide, skinny thing, so I should be able to hit it without too much difference. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed that the gimbal is MIA, but we'll attempt. I tried to backtrack and find it just to cover thing while I'm going here. I tried to find it, and now that I think about it, I had it in my pocket while I was navigating the woods. I could have dropped it in there too. That makes it more problematic because that's a less predictable. I backtracked it to the wood line and it wasn't there, so I might have lost it. I'm gonna have to try to retrace my steps going back out, but we're here and this is the mission, so we're gonna do the mission. We're gonna go around this because it's easier too. We're here to do the mission. This was the mission. This is part 2. So in hopefully not too fisheye like video, because I'm kind of doing this for the first time with one lens, and hopefully I'm holding the camera steady enough this isn't too painful for folks. Again, it's not due to head motion, but I am walking through less than even terrain, so best I can. So middle bog, a couple hundred yards from what the drone had projected. So I don't know how far. I also don't want to lose direction, so let me keep an eye on. I don't think I'm going to lose it too bad, because if I could just keep a general idea of the direction I'm heading in, I shouldn't get too turned around in here. I do have a compass too, so there's that, which I should probably have out on me, but I don't. Looks like I'm going to be doing some mountaineering anyway, because it does go downhill from here. Which would make sense, because if you follow the trail on the other end, it does kind of go up and then down again. The way into the middle bog is downhill. So what I'm going to do is do some covering of ground. I am going to do a... Oh, is that a clearing over there? I think I'm paralleling part of the 5 bog still. Maybe not though. I'm going to take a segment break to conserve the camera so I can concentrate on going through the undergrowth here. And we'll be back in a bit. Back, we're kind of walking along a ridge line, sort of paralleling what I was looking down in there looking for water in the middle, because I remember what the middle bog, it's basically like a meadow stream combination. That's just meadow, so I think we're still on the backside. We're paralleling the 5 bogs still, whereas I don't know, this is kind of hilly. We'll see how we do here. Like I said, we didn't, having not been in here, I did a infrasound reading once, and yeah, that kind of comes to an end. We're at the end of the 5 bogs now, and the theme at hand is we had 0 reading for infrasound so far, so no dice there. Worth checking though, because I did actually at one point, this is getting steep too. We're going to go to the top of the hill and look down and see how far it is. Now for those that think I'm dumb for doing this without a compass, if you walk up the hill, there is a parallel trail, if you go far enough, that you'll eventually bump into. And the 5 bogs is a big enough area. The worst you're really basically looking at is popping out in an area other than what you expected. But I'm trying my best to keep a straight line though as we go up the hill. Once we get to that hilltop, I'm hoping we have a decent enough vantage point that we'll see the middle bog and know where to head. And normally I might just hike the other trail out, but I want to find my gimbal camera, so I'm going to retrace my steps. Because the unfortunate thing is I probably lost it in undergrowth like this, so I'm estimating my chances at like maybe 60-40, 50-50 at best of finding it. But a couple years old, that would force an upgrade. But circumstances of the upgrade would suck. This is actually fairly similar to getting into the area where the 3 might be. Where's the easiest way to do this? Walk over here to Hopeful Bald Patch and get out of these damn freaking grabber assholes. If I hadn't mentioned in a while, I hate those things. I hate those things. Anyway, I might take a segment break to scale this hill rather than hold the camera. Okay, so you missed the glory of me swallowing a bug in two, so we'll be back in a bit. As the bugs continue to surround me and try to fly up my nose hole and other holes. So here's our vantage point, and here's the problem. This ridgeline is quite steep, and I see nothing of the middle bog. So first of all, enjoy the view. I have to find if we can work the ridgeline, otherwise we may not be doing this. Let me try to go over that way a little bit. I need to find a landmark though. Like this wood pile. That'll work. I kind of came right up this. God damn, that sucked. I apologize for any hucking I do. I swallowed a bug. Alright, so here. We can get out. Try to work the ridge line. This is all of a sudden gotten rather steep and tricky, so this might actually not be a situation that's doable in the end, but we're up on the high ground. Let's see if I can squirm through this stuff. Thing is, I don't really want to scale my way back up this if it's not doable, because I'm looking to see if there's like a smaller, let's get around this. Going to be covered in pine needles. This isn't really looking a lot better. I'm going to go over to those trees over there and see if there's an area. You know, if I had my gimbal camera in my pocket here and I hadn't lost it yet, it definitely would be lost in this crap. Sorry to dwell on that. Let's get over that log, look around there and make a call. Because middle bog is that way. And if the only way around is to keep heading to what I believe is due west, then it is better off taking the trail anyway, because the trail is easier than this BS. But let's, because I mean right now I'm like struggling just to get around these damn trees. But let's maneuver between this and have a better look. See if this is any better. So far, I'm going to say no. Let's see. So as I look hill over dale, I'm not seeing it anywhere in sight, and I don't really, get off me. Let me think here for a minute. Again, well, that's a pretty good landmark. So, so it dips and then goes way the hell over there. But again, I want to recoup my camera, so I know you're thinking that I'm. Well, let's see how crazy this is. I also don't want to get turned around in here. You know, the bugs, which are now getting increasingly worse. If I go down there, I go through, let's go back up here and see if there's a way around following the ridgeline, or if that's is thick, because we're kind of hitting, I don't want to lose the sense. I had a sense of direction this far. I don't want to lose it. I mean, if I go back now, kind of go down and then that way back, but I'm not. Let me think here for a minute. See if is it. Let me get back over this thing real quick. No, I came through here. This is proving kind of deadlockish. Let's see. I can maneuver around up here or something. One of those damn bugs got in my ear. Sorry for any bumpiness on the video. I'm trying to do both at the same time, and if I can get up there. So if I get here's my call. If I can get through this and get up to the top of this hill and see the middle bog, will continue. If I get up to the high point here and it's nowhere in sight, then I think the purpose of figuring out if this was doable or not has pretty much been fulfilled towards the negative. But if I can get through these infernal bushes with minimal swearing, see what I can see on the other side of this. Because if I have to keep following this ridgeline, which is taking me off course, let alone get the bleep back up it. No shit, it's right there. All right, never mind. So we were down there, and it's right there. Okay. This is where I eat crow. Come back down this crazy hillside, which can easily kiss my ass. And as I'm about to declare defeat, let me find the easiest way down to that oddly even ground over there, which actually isn't bad at all. And I laughingly have found my way going the hard way. It's right down there. Let me get through this. Eat some navigational crow. And it's right here, I think. Yeah, right here. Now how the hell do I get down to it? Still fairly steep though. As I pick bits of, let's see. Okay, so as far as squatchability, no actual signs of life. The application for infrasound detection makes a horn beeping sound for some reason. But and also I'm going to hold to the idea that any thought of sneaking through here is like pretty comical actually. But okay. I'm trying to find a way down to the water tonight so I can actually get there and find out whereabouts relative to where I'd normally come down is. So, again, not to be repetitive, but with any luck, the video is not too choppy with my holding it manually. The gimbal would do a better job, obviously, but he's on the bottom of the forest floor somewhere. right, so the way back up there, the way through. Let's see. This is going to be one of those tricky foot placement things. Using this dirt ball and cursing the grabber bushes and branching my way. Okay. As soon as we get down to the water line, I am going to try two things. Now that I'm fairly confident I can get back with, and actually if I had gone off course, I would have eventually found the trail too. So there's that. But coming out here, let me get to the water line through these, again, shit bushes. I want to go back up that way, more or less. And then hopefully retrace my steps. So this is the Middle Bog, which is actually a stream. But let us get out to the water line. We have more opening. So I haven't actually given thought to flying the drone, and it is a good day to fly, but as you saw what I was going through, not the ideal. So what we're going to do now is take a segment break of enjoying these lovely bugs that I coughed one up. And I am going to take some photography from this area. And then also, I just saw a fish go through there. I'm going to fish here too. And I am going to, and so for the sake of people that think I'm lost right now, there is a parallel trail up that hill, probably, I'm going to say probably about 300, 400 yards at most. Because I don't know what angle I came out of this at, but we are, it would actually be cool to get the drone up here and then not lose track of things. But I'm going to take a quick break and get some photography and then see if I have a signal for a live stream. If I do, I'll try to do one. If not, well, we're in the middle of bleeping nowhere. But for now, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're up the hill and heading back down. So the annoying horn beeping sound is actually the infrasound application getting a hit. So we are actually getting sporadic is the word I was looking for, hits of infrasound. Whether that's squatchy or not, I don't know. But crunching through all this crap, I have no chance of stealth, I know that, but let's see if we can make our way back to civilization without getting lost at this point. Since we've accomplished the mission, we are actually, to my surprise, able to live stream at the Middle Bog after going through all this loveliness, which I'm not going to share live because I have no control over profanity in real time. Stepping through this shit, case in point. But let's kind of get down out of this stuff and then find a familiar point. That stick pile is, we were up there. And we're going to try to parallel back to where we were and kind of do a semi-straight line, or actually parallel the one of the 5 bogs, which I can actually see from here. It's actually not as far a journey through this hell as I had foreseen, but let's find our way out of this loveliness. And in fact, let's get over, this isn't getting any better. Let's get out to the open ground over here in Orient over there. I know the new term is you son of a bitch, shut up, is orientate, but that's not proper English and I'm not using it. So as best I can move ourselves towards the 5 bogs, we're going to go through this and find our way back. And I am going to take a quick segment break once I get to an open spot just to check the battery life on this camera, see if I have to conserve it or not. All right, I think that big old tree over there. This is about the level we were at when we were coming through, and bog number technically 6 is to my right, or my left rather, but we want to go this way to backtrack to where we were. And we are more or less going in the right direction, I think. With little or no chance of getting too lost because bug on my these bugs are annoying at this point. So pardon my bug related whining. I have to remember I was kind of keeping to the high ground. I started heading down into the valley and I'm like, nope, that isn't really what you were doing. You were kind of paralleling you're in a more open area. Now, where the hell is that relative to where these damn grabber bushes aren't? May they burn in hell. This maybe? And then over that way. All right, so bog 6 is over there. We're kind of going the same way. Incidentally, when the infrasound alarm goes off, I'm not necessarily attributing that to squatchiness per se. Speak of the devil. If they are doing that, it's almost like they're heckling me, which is actually kind of funny. Don't let it be said they don't have a sense of humor then. I really, truly despise these damn bushes. I really do. Truly do. Again, if this is choppy video, I apologize, but look what I'm walking through. I think I see where I'm trying to get to, though. They're not words for the festering hell, but I freaking... God damn it! I'll edit that out. Wish upon those damn bushes. My apology for temper. Is this the open spot I found when I first came in? I'm surprised I'm not dragging like half a bunch of effing bushes with me at this point. Okay, so there's like a rise and then a dip. That should put us back where we were, I think. At this point, I'm just trying to avoid I think, emphasize think, we're more or less going to the right spot, which of course we can correct once we get there. If we come out a little, well, this is like, but my little outburst is probably a good reason why I didn't want to, per se, live stream this, so that I don't swear needlessly. Okay, so let's get into this. This, I think, looks familiar as we were trying to get out of the damn bushes to an area we can actually cover some ground without cursing effing life. Now we are coming out. This actually looks familiar now. Good. I feel a bug biting into my forehead. So please. All right, so let's see. Okay, yeah, we're just down the hill now. So what I'm going to do is let's get to the hillside right here and then kind of take stock of where we came in versus where we're going to head out. And we'll adjust our course from there. We're going to take a quick segment break just to get down this and figure out my navigational requirements. We were just in that. Now we're heading back parallel to the Fountain of X structures. The wind is rather refreshing because it's breaking up the bug factor that was part of my charming walk. I'm going to keep an eye out for the camera too, although I suspect he went down in the undergrowth, because I walked through this stretch of our journey literally following pound for pound my foot imprints, and he's not here. So hopefully going back I can parallel my steps through the wood line and find him and not have to do the upgrade, although if I have to, I have to. We're moving into the portion of denial where we hit acceptance, but we haven't backtracked. I didn't initially correctly remember that I actually had him out in the actual undergrowth too, because I stopped recording to go through the undergrowth without the camera, because I've done that before. And I think he may have gone down in there. There go 2 ducks. You see them right there. 2 mallards. I've gone through this twice now, and it's like it's all greens and tans, and the camera itself is black, so it would have stood out enough. I would have found it if I'm backtracking like track for track, because before I was like showing you this stuff along the stream and it's not here. So we are going to hopefully align our exit to the original trail. The good news is we have overlanded to the middle bog. It's actually not too horrible. So that much is going to be declared mission accomplished. Yeah, I literally walked through this crap and I don't see it either. If I find it, I'll call it a win. If not, I'll replace it with something smaller that'll be down deeper in my damn pocket, so I don't have to sweat it as much. But if I don't find him, he'll be missed. I'll walk through all this twice now, and I don't think he fell out in this segment of the journey, because you can see out far enough that if he was like just sitting loose in the tall grass, you'd find it. Especially now it's like my 3rd time walking back through this. So we're going to get to the tree line over there, and then somewhere in there, hopefully I find him. Otherwise, the journey I have to tell is, there's the deep spot again. It's pretty deep. Of course, on a hot day like that, there's your perfect trout overhang. Did I see one in there? Did I actually see in there? You get room for things to hide in there. So if I don't find him, then there were highs, there were lows. We accomplished the mission, which we did actually do. So that's a good thing. So add to this another area I'm not going to get lost in, because I've actually navigated it all the way through. And I can connect spots now. Again, this was, I guess I call these like connecting the dot kind of hikes, because you hike in from one area. It takes you longer to get there if you go directly through. But if I ever get turned around and suddenly recognize a stretch of woods, I can literally hike to the other end, get to the trail. Like I said, at the middle bog, if I absolutely got turned around, I could go back there. And then, like, again, getting my feet wet, crossing something like that, you will, up to your thighs, be soaked. But the temperature today is probably about, It's not beep. It's actually as comedic as that is. It's almost like I'm heckling myself. But it's like basically 55, 56 today, so you get a little cold in the water, get cold, wet feet. They'll dry out soon enough if you're in the sun. And we could get up to the trail on the other side and walk out that way. But yeah, hopefully I can recreate the relative way out here so I can find the damn thing, because I had it right up. All I can think of is I lost it in this stretch of woods over here once I get through the mud and into the wood line. That wasn't as sinky before. The sun must have softened it up. Anyway, we're gonna get to the bush line here and take a segment break and hopefully recoup the loss of our camera once we get up in this stuff, which is a product of memory. Hopefully we do. But we're going to drop it here and pick up on the others. We are back, and since I'm on this camera, obviously by pure luck, I found this camera again. So nobody is left behind on Team Nezin. So a lot of this video will be in 360 video, but I have all my segments. I didn't lose anything, so that makes me less... I would have been kind of grumpy because my buddy and I have been through a lot, as much as I harp on him sometimes. But he did not go missing and become part of the lore of the Bennington Triangle. He actually is... Again, the infrasound detector is basically heckling me. But, so we got through, we did overland to the Middle Bog. There's a hell of a ridge line in there that I started along. I didn't really need to go up, and found the Middle Bog, came out on top of it. Did a live stream from there, of all things, because there actually is a signal in there somehow. And now are making our way back slowly but surely to civilization with the original presumed lost soldier, who is now reunited with us, and that's a good thing. So having found him and having served up the news that he is in fact found and not going through that lovely swamp to my right, we're gonna kind of maneuver back over to the hillside here and take a segment break from our reunited companion. And we'll be back in a bit. So this is going to be potentially my outro, but off in the distance to the west I heard some odd noises coming from the middle of the woods. I don't know really what it is. I am going to potentially end the video here and say thanks for watching, listening, and all that. And if you enjoyed the live feeds today too, but I'm going to leave the camera on so I can maybe catch that sound again on camera if it happens again. But otherwise, we're going to probably end the video here and say thanks again.